He steps in to take care of y'all too, right?
Yes.
Tell them how old JJ and Junie are at this time.
JJ was 22 and Junie was 24.
So imagine being 22, 24. You got Jasmine, Lydia, Christina. Christina has autism. She's on the autistic spectrums. Reina. Then you got JJ and Junie. And Junie, he's got kids of his own, right?
Yes.
How many does he have?
He has a boy and a girl.
So he's got a boy and a girl. So he's got his own family. So it's like 8 mouths to feed. Reina's mom is doing what she can do to help support. And JJ and Junie are working one job, multiple jobs. What's that like for them?
JJ had one job but working a lot of hours, and Junie had 2 jobs.
So Junie's 24, working 2 jobs to help feed, care for y'all. JJ is working doubles,
yes,
so that y'all can stay afloat. And your mom is, you know, she's staying with y'all, or you're staying with her on the weekends and things like that. And that's pretty much how y'all function for a little while, right?
Yes.
So you got 22 and 24-year-olds taking care of y'all.
Yes.
What was that like? I'm sorry, I didn't actually have the first service. I just keep it. What was that like?
I mean, I guess it was good, I guess.
Good? What made it good?
I mean, had somebody taking care of us and we wasn't somebody else.
So it was a family taking care of y'all. Couldn't be better at this moment since y'all lost Big Mama. Who else would you want to take care of you but family, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're staying with Mom on the weekends. Grandma passes away in February. A few months go by. Summer's right around the corner, right? Summer's always a good time. No school, y'all are young, bunch of girls in the house. It's like, girl, we gotta go to the beach this weekend. We in Florida. Maybe JJ Jr., my mom could take us. You know, summer, you look forward to summer. Y'all look forward to summer, right? You look forward to summer. But summer rolls around in June, and tell them what happens at the beginning of summer.
My mom takes me to Animal Kingdom, and then...
That was the first time y'all went?
Yes.
That was the first time you and her went, or that was the first time y'all went together?
That was the first time we've been, period, but the first time I've been with her too.
Okay, so the very first time you get to go to Animal Kingdom was with your mom, who pretty much abandoned you when you was little, came down, fought for you, stabbed her best friend and her sibling. I'm just gotta throw that in there. And y'all working on your relationship. Sounds like things are getting better. Grandma just passed away. Y'all go to Animal Kingdom together. What happens the next day?
My mom passes away.
Tell them what happens though. Tell them about how she passed away. So you did it again. We talked about this. You gotta tell them the story.
Oh my God. Anyways, she makes lunch or dinner, whatever it was, I don't remember. And she tells me to call my brother and tell him to come pick some up for the girls. So I didn't call her. I didn't call him until later on. So I called him and I said, "Oh, Mom wants you to come get food she made." Anyways, he wanted to talk to her. So I was like, "She's sleeping right now."
He wants you to wake her up, right?
Yeah, he wanted me to wake her up. And I went in there to try to wake her up. And then she wouldn't wake up. And then I told him, and he's like, "Oh, just wake her up."
I like when you do his voice.
So then I went in there again, like, I turned on the light, and then I tried to, like, wake her up again, and then she opened her eyes, and I couldn't see her pupil.
It was
white. And then I ran to the phone, and I told him, and then he told me to, like, run across the hall, because that's where my other brother used to live. Anyway, she was dead.
So the day before, y'all go to Animal Kingdom, things are good, happy times. The very next day, you're the one that finds her dead.
Yes.
And she dies of what?
Pneumonia.
Did she know she had pneumonia?
Yes.
How did she know she had pneumonia?
She went to the doctor a week before.
A week before, and the doctor told her to
come back that same day, or the day that she died, and
she didn't go back.
She didn't go back.
So pneumonia caught up to her and took her life.
Yes.
So Grandma dies in February, right after your birthday. 3 months later, your mom dies, and you're the one that finds her dead. What is your attitude now towards God, towards church? Like, where you stand?
I was angry. I was upset. All of the above.
All of the above again? All the negative things you
But I was still going to church.
Because?
Because of my grandma.
Okay, so your grandma's out the picture, your mom's out the picture. JJ and Junie got to step up. And you're angry with God, upset with God, all of this.
Yes.
But you still go because you want to do right by your grandma. Still going.
Yes.
Okay, so what's life like now after your mom and your grandma passing away, and now JJ and Junie got you full time? How y'all doing? How y'all coping?
I mean, we was good 1 minute, and the next minute we was upset, crying, whatever, missing, our loved ones, and then it'll be good again, and vice versa.
So a lot of ups and downs.
Yes.
How are y'all behaving? Like, how's school going for y'all, the girls?
Bad.
What you mean by bad?
We was always fighting and getting into trouble.
So y'all was gonna introduce Florida to Jersey. That's what's going on, right? That's what's really good. Y'all just go to school, it's like, you know what? We finna get down, fist pumping and all. We just gonna stomp somebody.
I guess.
That's how it was going down?
Yes.
Yeah, she tried to deny this the other night. Mike was in the background like, wait. You were getting into fights all the time. So you got 4 of y'all just rolling up on girls. Just, to be honest,
Yes.
you was young. They gonna forget about this later on. I'm just letting y'all know, y'all cross and she gonna Jersey you real quick. So watch yourself. Watch how you say something to her after this, okay? I got you. So a couple of years go by, y'all are typical teenage, young girls, got stuff that go on. Y'all going to school, you handle your business, but you beating people down, taking it back to Jersey. And now high school's about to start, right?
Yes.
So you're about to close that chapter on your elementary, middle, your mom having been doped up and your grandma taking you in and y'all moving down here, then your grandma dying and then your mom dying. It's kind of like, all right, let's move forward. Freshman high school, people kind of nervous, excited about all of that, but it's a new chapter for everybody. How did your freshman year start? How does that go?
My dad moves down from Puerto Rico.
Your dad that wasn't in the picture when you was little, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he moves down from Puerto Rico
and whatever, he comes down to when he supposedly wanted to do right for me and my brother, and then I knew he was coming down, so my brother told me, but I didn't want to go see him because I didn't care for him. He wasn't there for me, so I just didn't want to, but I went for the sake of my brother.
And what is that conversation like with your dad?
It was bad.
How was it bad? How was it bad?
I told him how I felt and whatever, and he said, I'm sorry, but I'm here now. I'm going to be here for a while, and whatever, that he wants to do right for me and Junie. And then...
So you meet him with him the first day he gets down here. You give him the business, let him know, listen, bruh, it's been years since you've been in my life. That's right, I used the bruh. It's been years since you've been in my life. Now you want to come back in. One thing leads to another. Y'all kiss and make up. You're kind of looking forward to developing this relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so the very next day, what happens?
We're supposed to go to dinner, but my dad forgets his wallet at his house. So my brother takes him, or on his way, or he takes him to his house, but on the way, he has a heart attack in my brother's car.
And
Dies.
wait a minute. So in January, 2 years ago, you lose your grandma. 3 months later, you lose your mother. 2 years later, your dad comes back down to reconnect with you, and the very next day, he dies too. So we're talking about 3 deaths in 3 years, a lot of stuff happening in a short time. What was it like now that your dad died? Where were you at? How were you feeling?
I was upset. All of the above.
Angry, all of the above. How was you feeling in particular, though, about your dad passing away? Was it different than your grandma and your mom? Was it the same?
It was different.
What made it different?
Because I felt like...
You got this? You're like halfway there.
Sorry. I felt like he was taken too soon.
So with your grandma and your mom, even though they died, you got to have time with them and have a relationship with them. And with your dad not being around, and and him saying, I'm going to be here for a long time, and literally the very next day he's gone, it was kind of like your expectations was cut short.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Like, I know you said you're angry and you're upset with God. I mean, surely at this point, though, you got to be like, enough is enough, God. Like, okay, I mean, really, 1 wasn't enough, 2 wasn't enough, I got to get 3, and they're all the people that take care of me. Like, you was pretty upset.
Yes.
Chuck and deuces to God.
Yes.
Y'all know what chuck and deuces mean? I don't think I did a good job in the first time. I'm gonna try the second search. Chuck and deuces is like saying peace. You chuck a deuce. But when Reina and I are talking and it's a little more raw, you know, some things come out. You know what I'm saying? So I said, when you was upset with God, how upset were you? And she was, you know, some choice words and things like that, you know what I mean? Which is fine, you know, God's big enough to deal with that. So I've happily labeled that chucking deuces. It wasn't throwing up the peace sign. You take away the 1 finger, and then you, okay, now y'all know where I'm going. I did better this service than I did in the first service. So she's chucking his double deuces, is what I called him. It wasn't just 1, it was 2 to God. She's mad, totally mad at God, upset with God, but are you still going to church?
Yes.
Why are you still going to church?
For the sake of my grandmother, but for games and candy.
For what?
Games and candy.
I mean, is there not a better reason to come to church? Reina's coming to church for games, candy, and tell them.
VeggieTales.
VeggieTales. Games, candy, VeggieTales, and you got to be what when you came to VBS?
The red tomato.
Reina, the red tomato. Video games, candy, VeggieTale movies. Now you know why at age 23, when my kids are over there, her favorite things to do is watch VeggieTales with them. Okay? So you're going to church, even in lieu of all the stuff going on, you're going to church for candy, games, VeggieTales, and to be the red tomato in your VBS group. I'm just saying, that's hot right there. I came for a girl, she came for VeggieTales. I mean, that's hot. But you're at VBS. You've lost 3 people and just recently lost your dad, and something important happens at VBS. What happens?
I accepted Jesus.
So they have an altar call, and you come up, even being lured in by these candy games and VeggieTales. And somehow, in the midst of all of that, you find some Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah? Is that pretty accurate? Okay, so you get saved, and on the heels of your father passing away, you get saved, and something else happens your freshman year. What happens?
I meet Mike.
She meets Michael, as she calls him. Yeah, that's right. Meets Michael, the love of her life. Was it love at first sight, Reina?
Of course.
For all y'all that don't think that exists, what? Okay, so love at first sight. You lose your dad, you get saved, God then gives you Michael Joseph Osczepinski. Freshman year is looking like it's going to turn around. Maybe you got a good 3 years of high school to go, but then your sophomore year starts. And what happened your sophomore year?
I get into a fight in the cafeteria.
No, don't tell them what you called it. What was it?
It was a riot.
Reina, little Titi Reina here, starts a riot at Osceola High School. It's not just her, but we got Jasmine. Was Lydia in this too?
Somewhat.
Lydia. We got her cousin is in this, and her sister's boyfriend. 5, 6 of them said we going straight Jersey Shore up at Osceola High School, and starts a riot at Osceola High School. Okay, so Reina and her family starts a riot up at Osceola, right? I'm just saying. Listen, I don't know her as a Stevie Reina, right? This is one of the happiest people I know. And she told me she started a riot and beat somebody down and fist pumped her way through that fight. That just cracked me up. So you start a riot, and what's the result of this riot that y'all start? Saying Alcatraz, what's wrong with y'all? What's the result? What happens?
I get expelled.